My name is Lauren Sky, she, her, and I joined the scene um, a bit over a year ago when I became an intern here at Big Heavy World, where I started helping with booking and running all age punk shows. So that's substance free.
My name's Clover Koval. I use she, her pronouns. I've been performing in the greater Boston area and on and off in Burlington for, I want to say about 3 or 4 years. And I moved to Burlington just over a year ago. And yeah, I've been just trying to push my solo psychedelic indie experimental stuff.
Um, so I noticed that a lot of the time it seems like the college community and the town community don't mix that well. Like there was a venue called the Rat House, which was mostly UVM students and mostly UVM bands, and no one else really went to it. But at a place like Jim's Basement, where a lot of the people who live in town go to, I feel like not as many college students go to. I don't notice them there a lot of the time, or anyone that I recognize. Um, and it feels like I've been more involved with the town scene than the UVM scene a lot of the time. So like I'm just finding out about all sorts of bands because I feel like there's no connection to the UVM music program or anything. There's no way to know what bands there are on campus, and I same with Champlain. I know absolutely nothing about Champlain so, or St. Mike's.
In general, I find in Burlington it's pretty easy to get booked. I think in the Boston scene and in other DIY scenes that I've experienced from just touring and going around, it can be kind of exclusive where if you don't know people right off the get go, then you can't get booked at all. In Burlington, everyone's pretty welcoming in general. And I think because the community isn't that big, it's pretty easy to communicate with people and to get booked in general. And I've also noticed, in particular, the Burlington scene that it's not super diverse in terms of uh, gender, sexuality, especially race. It's Vermont, but um, yeah, and that is definitely something that I've experienced as a downside and a difficulty when getting booked because it's a lot of cis dudes.
Big issue in our scene is accessibility. So one of the things that impressed me about the old Big Heavy World Space was it was the only venue in the area that was wheelchair accessible. And this space now too is technically wheelchair accessible, but you have to like go through a whole convoluted hallway and stuff to get there. Um, and pretty much all of the other venues except for bars are basements, which generally have long staircases going down to them. I mean, Gloom Garden is the best, I would think, right now because people like me who have problems with fatigue and other people who might have other issues can sit down on the couches. There's a place for you to rest, but there's still a long staircase down to get there. Um, and it's hard because it's the DIY community. It's do it yourself. It's a lot of these people are just opening their homes and scraping together whatever equipment they have, and their friends bring in the rest.
I think if we were more, I don't want to say accepting, but more going out of our way more to invite people from outside of Burlington to play here who are different than us. Being more inviting, I guess, just because, like I said, Burlington is pretty open and pretty good about that in my experience. But I find that you do see the same few bands at every show or the same few people rotating within. So I think just diversifying it by going out of our way a little bit more and not in a way that feels forced.